say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket...
Because of the fear of the consequences of being known, for too long, gays have hid their private life out of fear. But now, everybody here is fighting for equality and freedom from harassment, from violence and fear, and it's going to happen. This is the civil rights issue of this era.
As the local politician who gets up and talks every year, I just wanted to spend a little time talking to you about some of the successes that we've had over the last year and some of the challenges that we face in the coming months. As you all might know, the summer of 2007 marked the first time in history that a piece of legislation that recognizes the existence of gays and lesbians in a positive way actually passed a chamber of the North Carolina General Assembly. The piece of legislation that passed this summer was a bill that would protect all children regardless of their ethnicity, regardless of their gender, regardless of their race, and regardless of their sexual orientation, would protect them from bullying in the classrooms and the hallways of the public schools of North Carolina. It certainly is a goal that we all believe in and know can make the difference in the lives of young people, because each and every one of you was one of those people. I was one of those people. Every year, hundreds, if not thousands, of gay and lesbian teenagers drop out of school because of the challenges they face every day walking down the hallways of our public schools. Yet our leadership in the Senate, either through fear or ignorance, chose to remove the language that recognizes sexual orientation from the bill before they passed it. This is not an acceptable response to the challenges of our community and the children of North Carolina. The leadership for change exists in every one of us here today. Representing Senate districts from across the state, we have the power to educate our senators. And when they return to the General Assembly in May, that they work with the House to come up with a compromise bill that restores the language that protects all children in North Carolina public schools. The leadership is in you. You must make that contact. Even in this time of great success and some significant challenges, we can't just sit back and say we've arrived. When we look out on the horizon, we know that our destination is still in front of us. If we are ever to arrive, each of us needs to take up the challenge of leadership. We've seen it again this week in the United States Congress, where the ENDA bill, the Employment Non-Discrimination Act, is in jeopardy. It's in jeopardy because of fear and ignorance on part of the Democratic majority to stand for our transsexual brothers and sisters and make sure they stay included in that piece of legislation. Because of either they're scared of the T and the LGBT, or they don't have any idea about what transsexual members of our community are facing in the workplace across this country, for either reason, fear or ignorance, neither is acceptable. And the leadership for that change is in you. We must ensure that every member of the North Carolina delegation to Congress understands that truth. That includes our wonderful congressman from this district right here, David Price. He needs to hear from you. Brad Miller in Raleigh needs to hear from you. We often sit back and we're thankful that we do have at least two out gay people in the U.S. Congress, but they've given up. They've said ENDA is fine without transsexual inclusion. That is unacceptable. The leadership can't be in them. The leadership is in you. You must make the phone call. You must write the email. And you must go to their local legislative offices and tell them that our transsexual brothers and sisters in this movement deserve to be included and protected from discriminatory action in the workplace. Yay. Okay, so now I've challenged you. I want to thank you all for being here. This is one of my favorite times of the year. I want to thank all the people involved with Pride for inviting me here again today. I look forward to seeing all of you on the parade route. And I thought I would take just one moment to remind you that we have some people among us along the parade route who, they don't seem to like us, but they come to our parade every year. They're standing out over there with some megaphones and some big speakers blasting off a band. The leadership I talked about that all of you need to exhibit to create the change that we've been fighting for so long, don't jeopardize that. Don't jeopardize it by feeding into their hate. Don't forget that to touch them is to assault them. Don't forget that to speak fighting words is to assault them. Don't let them win by allowing some of us to end up in the Durham County Jail today. Freedom of speech allows us to be here. Equality allows us to celebrate. And and yes, I'm wearing ACLU on my t-shirt, we need to recognize that they have their rights and we have ours. And let's exercise ours and celebrate us today. Thank you so much for having me today. And I look forward to seeing you on the parade route.